Hey, good to see you again. I'm John Zidar. This is October 2nd, Saturday. On behalf of PB Alerts, we're giving you the alert you want, but we got the training you need. This is at the top and hot. I like to look at stocks that are going to run for whatever the reason. Catalysts, technicals, current situations, world affairs, it doesn't matter. We're looking for stocks that are going to run. And this last couple of weeks, we've been looking a lot at stuff that has been going current. And we're still looking at that because it is still a situation. But we're looking at a lot of other things now. We're just spreading our wings, trying to get as much air as we can. So we're going to look at the list that we generated yesterday, and then we're going to go make a new list today, except we're going to do it a little differently. I'm not going to drag you around through all of the junk and the dogs. You don't have to go from stock to see which one is good. I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to eliminate all the garbage so you don't have to waste your time, and then I'll bring you the good stuff. So we may have a few more splices and edits in this, but I'll try to keep it smooth and bring you the best that I can find. All right, let's jump into it. All right, like always, I am on Thinkorswim. That is a free trading platform you can get just for signing up for an account for TD Ameritrade. You don't have to trade with them, but you sign up, you get all the benefits. So you can have this for absolutely free and do everything I'm doing. Now you can see the list is a wee bit bigger than the way we left it yesterday. We had SCNA, ICOA, and AZIL on the list. And as you can see, we had nothing. It just did not perform. There was nothing there to watch. The others you see there were ones that I had found early in the morning or people had dropped into my lap through some sort of social media. And a couple of them did run. A couple of them did pretty good, had some runs, a lot more than the ones we were looking at. But that's the name of the game. And hopefully we're going to do better today. So let's not waste any time looking at what happened today, because really what happened was the market took a turn. The market took a turn today in the middle of the day, and it looks like we could be going into some good, strong growth if the market sentiment continues. So standard operating procedure, I use the OTCmarkets.com site for virtually all of my DD, or at least I always start here. The reason, because FINRA and the SEC uses this particular site to put all of the filings, all the financials in, all of the stock information. It comes here. So all these other sites you're running around to on Google with your searches looking for information, this is the pond they're dipping into when they're fishing. So you might as well come to the pond instead of going to the guy trying to sell you the fish that may be out of date and old. P.U. All right, first thing we're going to take a look at is how the week ended on the OTC market. We are at, I can't tell if they're going up or down. Last Wednesday, we had 12,800 securities. The SEC passed a new ruling that the deadline hit on the 28th of last month, that if you weren't current on your financials on the OTC market, you were being pulled off and put into the expert market, which you and I as normal investors cannot buy, not in any way, shape, or form. And if you're invested in it, it goes into limbo until they get current. They're not off the market per se, they're just off the open market. Once they get cleaned, they'll come back. And a lot of these have been our plays lately. There's been a lot of companies that were yanked that can't make any money till they get back on the market. So they are very motivated. But it also costs money to get back on the market. So they get in a bind now. It's very tricky for them. Let me see. We did $2.5 billion. Impressive. There was a strong surge at the end of the day today, Friday. Why? Because Merck came out with what they're calling a COVID killer pill. It has reduced the deaths of COVID in hospitals by over 50%, so they say. And this has really stirred up a lot of hope just all around. COVID is what's been causing the market to stumble. COVID is what's caused a lot of interruptions in the flow of business and supply. So you get rid of COVID, business starts to surge again. Bubble or not, the investors are optimistic, and they're going to keep this going if they can find any good reason. And a COVID killer pill, That was a good reason. So we ended up with $2.5 billion. We've just had a high the other day of 2.4, and I say for a high of like 90 days, maybe 120 days. It's been quite a while since I've seen this number. Share count 39, that's really good, really, really good. We've been down below 30, which is a slow day. 39. Really, I'm happy to see this. I'm glad to see that we're kicking up. I hope it continues on Monday. Trades, really not all that much. We've been in between 350 and 470 in the last 10 days. So we're still right in that ballpark. Okay, as I said, I'm not going to drag you along through all of the dead horses as I lift their tails and hoofs and smell their breath. I'm going to just show you the ones that are worthy of riding around the park. May not be great, but they're worthy. So let's jump into this. I look in two different places, just so you know where I'm looking. I will be going over here to the current market, and I will be looking at most active stocks. Now this is great information because not only can you see how much money has been put into each company or how many shares are being sold, but you can see how many trades. And to me that's very important because the number of trades represents basically how many people are involved around that stock. And the more people around it, the more price action you're going to get. How much bidding and auctioning are you going to get on a stock with 2 or 3, 4 people? So we look for a lot of people. Now we don't work with this one, but this is a good place to get all of that information. The only thing you can't search is the percentage change, and that's because they zoom in on that. You can go just to the advancers or just to the decliners. And I will be using this for some of our searching. We will be able to go right down here and look at the highest numbers, come across, and you'll be able to see how much volume they've had. Now I am going to be searching. I notice up here we've got it over $1. That's a good search. You're going to get some decent stocks, and a lot of people aren't comfortable trading penny and sub-penny stocks, and that's okay. The risk factor, the cheaper the stock gets, is greater. So it is smart to stay up in the price range that doesn't affect your mood. You can also go just over a nickel, or you can go all of the stocks, there's 11,500 of them now. And as you can see, you don't see a lot of these double diamonds over $1. You don't see too many over a nickel. A double diamond is the expert market. Also could be skull and crossbones, which is a bad boy. This is caveat emptor. They're warning you about them. They could actually be targeting their investors to take advantage of them. So we stay away from skull and crossbones regardless of what the opportunity looks like. That's what they're good at, painting opportunities. The other place we are going to look is on the news site. Now at the top of the page you're going to get the news, and it will be in chronological order. Now this covers the entire OTC market unless otherwise chose. You can come over here and just choose the pink stocks, or you can get the better stocks, which have better transparency, are always audited, or you can get the absolute best stocks, the QX. It's up to you. I normally just look across the market. Why limit my opportunities? Now we're not going to use the, well, I may end up falling into it and bringing you something. We'll see. This is what I really come here for, are the financial reports. The financial reports are their earnings, the 10Ks, which are the annuals, the 10Qs, the quarterlies, and the pink disclosures, which have to be accompanied with an attorney letter since they're not audited. The attorney says, I'm telling you it's legal, looks good to me. So that's the best you get since you don't have a CPA stamping it. So we're going to look at these also, and these two are in chronological order. And you can look over on this side over here and see what period that they are covering. You know, is it the first, second quarter of this year? Are they late? It's last year. And just like the other one, you can zoom in on a particular sector of these markets so you don't have to look at them all if that's not what you want to do. Now I'm just in the mood to see some good high percentages. So I'm going to go jump over to the advancers right now, and that's where we're going to start. Now I've already done some preliminary work here, so I know exactly where we're heading, so I won't waste your time. Now on the advancers, we're going to do all the stocks because I want to see all of them. I'm not pushing anybody out. Anybody could make me money, regardless of their shape, size, color, creed, accent, smell. It doesn't matter. So you can see here, if you've been paying attention this week, our percentage changes have really dropped. Yes, 29,000 is high, but relative to 80,000 and 200,000% we saw last week, it's dipping. Yeah, that's a dip. But in any case, we can still focus in on exactly what we are looking for. Crowds around good stocks, just like a long line at a movie, and that's what we're looking for. Now, these are double diamonds. These are primarily expert markets. We can't buy them, we can't sell them, and unless they're about ready to come on the market, really doesn't matter for us to look at them. We're just kind of wasting our time. So we're not going to, or at least not on this list. Anything else is purchasable. The pink, the yields, and many of the yields provide opportunity because they are late on their filings, and it's a slippery slope. You know, you can't be late on your filings for too long. You go expert and you lose all your sales and all your purchases, and the company's not making money. And worse than that, it costs money to get back on. So these are good opportunities that could have catalysts just for going current. We're going to be taking a look at those if they have enough people. All right, this very first one here did have 2,384 trades. Figure maybe 2,000 people. That's a long line. And it had over 2 billion shares. Great. And look, folks, we're at $3 million that was put into this company today. I think those people are having drinks this weekend. 128% gains. No, 137. Blurry vision here. And we finished the day at 0019. That's a pretty low price. I like it better at 1, but that is a darn good price. So let's go take a look at Nika, see if we can find any information that, makes it look good. This is New America Energy Core, pink, current, so we don't have to think about that. Their verified profile, that's excellent. Transfer agent, good, they're legal. Shell risk means they aren't making money, but we don't know if it's because they're just lazy and not doing what they say, or maybe they're doing a reverse merger. Hard to tell. Let's see what we got down here for news. We have no news since the beginning of the month. Third Bench engages top accounting business consulting firms. And then Form Type 1Z, this was, actually it's an offer. I looked at it and they're going to start selling some shares on the market. So that's not really a catalyst. That's diluting the shares. And still, the stock went up today. Now, I did go over on Twitter and I couldn't find anything except that this company makes toys. And, you know, they do Alf and the Turtles, the Ninja Turtles, I think, or some kind of Ninja Turtle. But I didn't see anything special. So let's go take a look at the chart, because over there is something worthy of looking at. Okay, taking a look at NECA, N-E-C-A, New America Energy Core. We have the 5-day, 5-hour on one side, and we have the 4-hour, 6-month on the other. We can see we had a huge jump here, though it is dwarfed by everything back here. But relatively speaking, that is a giant jump. And what's even more giant is that volume. That volume is stunting all the other volume back. Let's come in on a big picture here for that. That looks kind of nice. All right, so we can see the volume from about right here, which is coming in at the middle of last month, got very strong, even though the price was dropping. Now, you think that's selling. Well, there is price action there. Shares are selling. It hit a low bubble here. It hit a low bubble, and it was days. It looks like it was 5 days. So let's go into the 10 days so we can see that low bubble. There it is. And it is just floating until today. And I can't find the catalyst. You don't go pushing your share price up on an offer, but maybe that did excite somebody. Maybe it did. But what am I doing here? Because it looks like it has a setup in the morning. If we come back out and just look at that long picture for a second, you can see after the low bubble, we have all the volume and a huge spike of volume. I mean, there is nothing here comparable to that. That is just huge, all the way up to here. And if we draw a line on our high here and our high here across the top, we can get a fix on a very strong support, or it will be a resistance coming up from underneath it that it will have to break. We can even bring this all the way over to here. All right, we'll probably see two lines in on that when I focus in. But you can see this was all the way back at, let's see, that's March. That is March. This one is June. We had just a poke in the nose in July, and it hasn't had anything till now. And everything has been coming up. So it is the way the day finished. This day has been building up, and today particular had more volume than all the other days, as you could see. Coming in on the last 5 minutes of the day, or at least 5 minute sections, you can see we hit a high bubble here. She was cooking. She was now agreed. She went across, up, and sideways for most of the day. But right here, it wanted to take off just before the weekend. Most people want to back out of the market just before the weekend, not get in. And here we seen a high bubble. Of course it dipped. You got to expect a dip on a high bubble. Just do that and you'll never panic. Always, always expect a dip. Not a big one, just a pullback. Call it a pullback. That's all it is. And then it jumped. I mean, it dropped and it refused. I mean, immediately it pushed back up. The RSI isn't as high as I would like. It is at 58. And the MACD is just about ready to cross over, coming out of the red. So it looks good with the volume behind it, the price being pushed up. There's a very strong likelihood that whatever made it run today could make it run on Monday. And I mean early. Now that's not saying it can't run the rest of the day, but I'm talking about this one as a morning bounce up to 10 a.m. Now on an OTC stock, you have to get in on a limit order. So if you're going to watch this in the morning, right now it finished at what? 0.0019. Now if it doesn't have any pre-market activity and it opens up and there is some pre-market activity in this stock, and it can jump. It can jump in the morning, so you're going to have to watch it. So wherever the price is just before the bell, you're going to have to be above that. And the first bounce may be hard. So I get hit a lot here, and you've got to be careful. Use that first minute maybe to study, to see if it's going to go up and then back down, and chisel down there just a wee bit before it takes off again. And you can get yourself a better price in the morning, but you have to pick a price. And this is where trading gets tricky in the OTC market. You just can't hit the market button and get in. But you can sell on a market and get out. And you get out at a 20% gain, jump out. I mean, if it's going 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, it's going to be moving fast, folks. It's going to be moving fast, and it will drop as fast if it's just a big bounce in the morning. So grab that money and run. Don't get greedy. Don't look for the top. Just look for 20% or more, hit your market, and get out. If it starts to fall real fast, get out. Hit that market and get out. Don't gamble on a morning bounce. And the third rule I have is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. or 10:05, be out. The market seems to hesitate and decide what it's going to do, and it may go up. But if it decides not to, there go your gains. So 10:05, get out. All right, we're going to put that over here then. NECA. Okay, let's go take a look at the next one I found. Now, I've told you many times I really like to find big numbers over here, and I do. But when I'm just doing DD, I like to look at other things outside of the realm of the DD I do on the videos. And this one I was just looking at, and it does have a reason to look at it. Now, it's not going to probably move tomorrow. It could, but I'm showing this to you for one reason. They did 111% today. Not a lot of shares. It's at 55 cents, and it is current. AOXY, Advanced Oxygen Technologies, is pink current and has a verified profile. Now, this was selling today in blocks of 10,000. I did some jumping around, went to Twitter and a few other places, and dug up some of the information they've been digging up since they've been monitoring the stock. And this has been selling in chunks. So it looks like institutional buyers. There was a 10K put out here just about a week ago, but it's nothing special, not bad, not really good, and it's on time. So there's not anything there to make this move. And now I can't tell you why it's moving. What I brought you over here for was to see what I discovered. They have 60 million authorized shares. So they have 60 million in the bank that they can pull out and withdraw anytime they want and put on the shelves and start selling. But they've only got 3.2 million. That's all that they're selling, and that's management, insiders, institutions, and me and you. Now, I don't see a number here, so I went digging around, and a number that's repeated oftentimes is 2 million for the float. 2 million float is super duper low, folks. It is just amazingly low, and a low float means there's not a lot of shares. So when people start wanting the shares, all of a sudden there is a supply problem, and the demand goes up, the price goes up. The draft just carries that feather further and further up in the air. So we love small floats for huge bounces. Now let's go see if it has a habit of doing that with this small float. All right, let's see what we get here. We are on the 1 hour there, so let's put it down to the 5 minute. Okay, as I said, there was not a lot of volume. 7,000 shares, that's hardly nothing. Whew. All right, you see these big jumps, folk? I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to look at this 4 hour, 6 month over here. So these are your little bounces. Your little bounces are going from 13 cents to 21 cents. Those are your little bounces. Your big bounces here are going from 23 cents to 49 cents. These are 100% bounces. These are 25, 40, 50% bounces. That's what I'm talking about. A small float produces big bounces. Oh my God. What is that bounce? Wow, that was pre-market, aftermarket. Now I'm going to come down. Let me see, how many days is that? Maybe I can get that on the month. I get up to 59 cents. I saw that that was all the way up to 89 cents. Whew. Let's back up and make sure I read that right. Yeah, 82 cents. And it started down here at 16 cents. So you're looking at about 550% gains. And it did open there. It did close down here. And it did open right there. And it fell fast. Poor sucker that bought up there. Oh, sorry for you. So I'm going to put this over here on the list. Not because I expect this to run tomorrow, but because I like to keep hold of my list. I will transfer this over to my low float list. You really need to have one of those and just casually check in on it every now and then and see if one of those low float companies is running, because when they run, the jumps are big. The next one we're going to take a look at has an outstanding number, 8,314 trades today. Unbelievable. Did 858 million shares, 93% gains, and it is pink as well. Let's go take a look at IFXY and see what we can see about this company. They are pink current, verified profile, transfer agent verified. They say they're a shell company and not making any money, and that is true. I've already looked here, folks, so I can take you to where we need to go. They don't have any news for quite a while, and they had an attorney letter with their reports come in, and it took a little while, but that is why they started running, is because they went pink. Over here, they start talking about it. I'm at Twitter. Why do I come here? Because there's thousands of people poking their nose around in things you and I would never even think about looking. They monitor things constantly, and they bring all that information here. So it's really like having a bunch of minions working for you. It's great. I love it. You guys are cute. Let's see here. IFXY getting found. This is September 29th. Just what, yesterday? 2 days ago. She's current, and merger news is imminent. Inforex.com website will be up soon. We got Catalyst on Catalyst right behind going pink. So they were already excited about this. The last time Cooley wrote a tweet was in October 2020, and now he tweeted about IFXY. This Cooley guy, I haven't done any research on him, but Cooley supposedly owns 62% of the company. 62%. That's what he invested. And here's another one. Future home of Inforex, Inforex Systems Inc. Merger news coming soon. So there's your catalyst. That's what's got this thing running. So let's go take a look at the chart and see if it looks like it's going to continue running for us tomorrow. Okay, so here we've got IFXY, and it looks pretty good. That is a giant jump. This was the stimulus month when everybody had that free money and were just throwing it into the market like they were playing the casino or the lottery. Came way down low after that, had some organic growth here for some reason, and has been going Well, the hard way, sideways. And you can see right about in there somewhere is her median. Pops up over here. You can see we're way above her median. Way above it. And whatever started yesterday and continued today. Now what I want to know is it going to continue tomorrow? Well, Monday. And you got to remember, over the weekend, a lot of things can happen. Anything can happen. Market sentiment can change. The company itself can change. You just never know what can change the market. So always check Monday morning, go across the board, look at the charts, look at the news, look at the pre-market, see if there's been a sentiment change. Is everybody still happy from all the good news today about the Merck COVID kill pill? Are they still happy on Monday about that? Or did China do something on Sunday and go pop that bubble for us too? So we are looking at the last 10 minutes and it does look good, folks. We hit a high bubble here at the very end of the day. It had a jump, came down on a dip, bounced off of the 20 and hit a high bubble. Boom. And just a smidge got sold after the bell, giving us confirmation that there were more people who wanted more shares and didn't get everything they wanted. So there could be a huge number of shares in there waiting to be sold at a higher price because they were bidding them up. The MACD looks very good. RSI isn't as high as we would actually like. It's at 62, but anything over 60 is worthy of considering. So I am going to take IFXY, and we're also going to throw that into our watch list. Okay, like a magnet, I can see the next one already. 1,213 trades, 165 million shares. Gotta take it seriously, folks. 80% gains, I'll take it. This is Lease, L-E-A-S. Give me a new lease on life. Let's see what we can find here on them. This is Strategic Asset Leasing Company. They are Pink Limited Information, which has probably got a lot to do with their catalyst right now. Going current. Nobody likes being Pink Limited anymore. It's not just something you overlook. Verified profile on the 9th, that's good. They've had everything checked out. They're in good shape. Transfer agent. They say they're not making any revenues. That could be bad or good depending on what their objective is in the future. Now I can see right here that they have filed quarterly reports, annual reports, and an attorney letter. Now I do see these are all for 2020. There's nothing here for 2021 yet. But this has been a catalyst for it nonetheless, I presume. Let's go check over at Twitter and see if there's something else going on. Okay, what do we got here? PPS, price share 0.004, float is 1 billion, right? Closed out 33% on the day. Just announced Pink Limited status. When was this? September 24th. So it's only been Pink Limited for a week. So they got to get the other filings in there. Filings quarterly and attorney letter, catalyst Pink current, then news. All right, only documentation is an OTC market update that showed Joseph Sinkule added as CEO of Lease. Looking into his background shows he is the current CEO of Pharmia Inc. and he has a strong history in growing biotech companies. Now when you start going through here, I don't know if they're making this up or if they're just getting close. Like here, Lee's, another very strong open. The DD is starting to get found and traders are seeing the upside of the potential pharma merger. Normally when you have a CEO of one company and a CEO of another company, the chances are, but not always, that the two companies could come together, especially if it will strengthen them. And this was just put out 10 hours ago. So obviously you have a new CEO who has a business in pharmaceutical and they think this is going to help the stock. So let's go see if the stock looks like it's going to run tomorrow. Monday. I know. Lisa's chart is looking pretty good. Oh boy, that's even looking better than the last one. Wow. Stimulus month is dwarfed. Trillions of dollars given to us, and this is what we get today. Woohoo! So this started off down here at 004 and is at 0099. There's a 100% day right there. What does it say? It says 80%, so it must have had a little bit of a pullback here. Not really though. Look, we ended the day at a high, and this is another good setup for the morning, folks. We've got a high MACD, RSI is at 64. That is doable. You can see on the long trend, it's very, very strong. Very strong. And it ended on a high. Now, I suppose it had a dip here. It did fall down to here and came right back up in that same 5 minutes. I like the way this looks for Monday. We are definitely adding this to the list. Lease. Well, folks, I have gone through all of these, at least all the ones that had high numbers, and none of these. This hospital place, they just have been run into the ground and can't seem to make any money. They just got some money, but it ain't much. Not worth looking at. These companies here, yes, they had lots of trades, but I cannot find any setup, any catalyst, any reason that makes sense for why they're moving. So we have not looked at them. And, well, I looked at them. So I've gone all the way down here, and I come down to about 39%. And I'm not finding anything really worthy of showing you. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here to the defunct because news late, and we're going to come down to those transfer agents. So they're in good shape. They're just late yet. And we are looking for companies let's see what their filings do. And I'm going to consider the annual report signs today. We're looking for companies that are trying to get current because that still is a big deal. It still hurts a lot of investors. Second quarterly be yanked away from you, and it hurts the companies. So they're motivated to get back on the market. Let's just make sure there's no other. We can see right here is a good one. Disclosure statement. Okay, today they also put annual report certification. They're trying to go current. This is the better probably the first quarter, so they may have a second quarter to do and an attorney letter, which disclosure. Interesting. Take a look at this there on the expert market right expert now. Market without all right, let's go take a look at RGUS. Dark and defunct, of course, they're late. Verified profile, transfer agent. That is beautiful. Let's see what sort of trade action they had today. They didn't. They didn't have anything today, but they did yesterday. Wow. 0001. What was it? So what was that? Wednesday, Thursday? It was at 006 and fell all the way to 0001. This could be a bouncer. It's already on the basement floor right now. Now, what are the filings that they have in? Let's take a look at that. So we got filings for 2021 and 2020, the quarterlies, and we have a annual report for 2021. But I don't see any attorney letter here. So that's what they're waiting for. Oh, and they also, looks like they're uplisting to the QB from the pink, which is a big deal. They're going to be more transparent, meaning they won't be doing pink disclosures anymore. They'll be doing audited financials. So this could be interesting. Let's go take a look at this chart and see what we got going on for RGUS. Okay, RGUS, lightly traded, 54 million in the float. Looks like we get some big bounces here. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is 4 hours. Each one of these bounces is 4 hours. That is at almost 3 cents from 1 cent. So you're looking at almost a 200% jump there. Let's take a bigger look at that picture. All right, she's obviously running downhill. We can see that, and she's hit a low, the lowest. You can't go any lower. And we can see a high up here, which wasn't up there very long, but it hit 5 cents. From here to there is 55,000% gains, folks. From there to there, if it decided to jump that high. Even if it only went up to 3, you would be up at 30,000% gains on this. I'm putting this on the list because I like the bounce potential here. Whew. Gotta tell you what, folks, I'm down here. This is the one I want to show you, but notice the date. 9:30. I have already gone through each one of these yield signs, checking all the information, looking at the charts to see if any of these fit what we would want to watch. None of them do. None of them do. Aren't you glad I didn't drag you along all that? But this one does have some potential. This one here, they are trying to go current, and they just filed their attorney letter, and it made a difference, folks. Look. 24,900% gains, and it's at 5 cents. They are still not current, but they filed everything that they need. That attorney letter covers everything. And here are their quarterly reports and their annual reports. all there. 2019, 2020, 2021, and the attorney letter. Boom! That's everything you want, and you've seen it jump. So why would I show it to you after it's already jumped? Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, and I'm going to let you be the judge of that. Look at the chart with me. Well, this is sort of interesting. This is the chart, the only chart I can get up for SNGY, Synergy Core. This is 4 hours, 6 months. It won't give me anything more. And you can see it is very thinly traded. So why are we looking at it? Well, there's a couple of very interesting things about this chart. You see the high is at, what is that, $2. Yes, $2. And our low is at 0002. Folks, 0002 to $2 is just this shy of 1,000,000% gains. You heard me right. You don't believe me. Come here. I'm going to show you something. There's 0002 and $2. Look at this. So this is a site I come to, percentagecalculator.net, just to figure out percentages in all different ways, depending on what you want to know. And this one at the bottom is what is the percentage increase or decrease from 0.0002 to $2. $2. We'll put the decimal in there just so we know. Calculate. There you go, folks. 999,900%. Just that shy of 1,000,000%. But take a look here, and you can see that the average low is right in there. There's a whole bunch of them right there. And that is at only 15 cents, folks. That's all. So if we throw just that measly 15 cents over here, calculate that, 750,000%. That means that if you bought $100 worth of this, it would be worth $750,000 in one day. Unbelievable. Now, it says the price is at 5 cents. We can't see it on the chart though. It only shows 0002, and this is on 8/27. This is a month ago. So why are we looking at it? Well, they just filed that attorney letter for everything. That should send them current, and this could have a jump. Now, I'm not sure where the price is. We're going to have to determine that if we're going to get in. But if you got in at 5 cents and it jumped up here to $2 or right around this area, $1.50, you're looking at 30%, 30 times your money. 30 times a nickel is $1.50. So you put in $100, you got $3,000 up there. And that's what we're looking at, a bounce. This one could bounce, and we don't know that it's going to happen Monday, but they're waiting to go current. So I'm putting it on the list because I just like to watch big bounces before they happen. And I can't see it if I don't know where to look. So the next one I found is called Fmbv. You can see they got 3 disclosures right now. That's all you can see here. And that is for 2020 and the last 2 quarters. So that brings them all up to current, which means they're about ready to go pink current, which should give them a bump. Well, when I jumped into this one and took a look, I was more than surprised. You come over here to disclosures, and you can see that they have handled 2020, 2021, and the last 2 quarters. But kick that more button out and it gets extreme. Here's 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. Notice that's still 926. 2015, 2014. Oh my God, folks. I have never seen this many disclosures. Look at that. All on September 26th, 2013. 2012, we're talking almost 10 years worth of filings. And that's it. That's it. That's where it stops. And I don't know how many filings that is, but every one of those filings costs money. All of them. So they are investing in their company, and you can see the effort they're putting in. They're working hard. All they need now is the cap. All they need is that attorney letter. He's got to read all those and say it's right. But all we need is that, and this is going current. Now, do I expect an explosion out of this? Well, it could. What sort of share structure has it got? 240 million total in the bank. They have 188 million on the market and only 9 million in the float. 9 million out of 188 million. That's just, is there something wrong with that? Now, a lot of people like to come up here to the DTC. That is close normally too. So just to make sure, I jumped into one of their filings, and we can see right here, number of shares in the public float is 9.1 million as of March. So that's the share count, and it's low, folks. Let's go see what the chart looks like. So the chart is interesting but not explosive. We're not looking at thousands of percent gains here. This is a normal play. I do see an easy 100, 150% out of this, and maybe a week, just a small short time swing. Let me show you why. This is the big chart. All right, I'm looking at the 4-hour, 6-month. Every one of these bars represents 4 hours of time. Look at the size. They start or end right now big, and as time goes by, they get smaller and smaller and smaller until they're very, very small back here. You can see that. It started getting bigger, 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 and we're getting big bounces, and we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom of that bounce right now, right there at just over 2.25 cents. Its high here is 5 cents. Now, we're not talking, like I said, thousands of percent, but the way this has been bouncing back and back up each time, I easily see this, since it has been climbing for 6 months, to continue its climb. And it may be a week, it may be less, I don't know. But if that attorney letter comes out, I expect it to push over this 5 cents and maybe hit 6, 7 cents or more. That last one, I expected it to hit 4 cents and it went to 25. So keep your eye on this one. I am, and I'm putting it on our list. Fmbv. Now this next one really isn't a play, but I just want you to see something so that you can know the next time you see it what to expect. KNOS here just filed a report. And now I'm not really worried about them going current or anything because they are going into a different ballpark. Down here you can see they just had news on the 28th. Kronos Advanced Technologies Inc. announces the fiscal year 2021 audited financial results. Qualifies as penny stock exempt. Penny stock exempt, it's like being granted the rights of an adult. All the OTC stocks are teenagers and kids, and they've got these house rules, and they've got curfews, and they've got chores. They've got to meet those requirements because the parents, FINRA and the SEC, tell them to until they can prove that they're not children anymore. And how do they do that? Well, there's 3 ways that you can become penny stock exempt. So looking at the definition right here on the site itself, this security is exempt from the definition of penny stock under SEC rule because it meets one of the following criteria. It has a stock price of over $5. No, this one is at 4 cents, so it isn't that reason. The issuer has an average revenue of at least $6 million for the last 3 years. Just touched on to $500,000 this last year, first time ever. Or the issuer has net tangible assets of $2 million and has been in business for over 3 years, or has $5 million and has been in business for less than 3 years. The bottom line here, they want to make sure you're not a startup company and that you've got money in the bank to handle your responsibilities. That's it. So they are penny stock exempt now. Okay, this is KNOS. The reason I brought you here is just to show you the effect of penny stock exempt on a stock. This is the 27th. It did hit a low bubble, but even that didn't seem to help, did it? It went further down after it hit the low bubble. Well, the low is actually down here. So all I can say is it didn't bounce far off of the low bubble. Until the news came out they were going penny stock exempt, and they hit a high bubble off that news. And of course, a high bubble does bring down the optimism. You always get a pullback 99% of the time. And it started to kick back up and has gone sideways. Now it's waiting to go current. You can see it has had a long dry spell and is just now starting to come out of it. And I do want to take a look at that because it does look promising. You can see that this has been on a long downtrend. It tried to come up here, which is the same thing it looks like here, no doubt. But we had a low bubble in front of this, which may be a stimulator. a fear factor to keep this thing moving up. You can see the MACD has been slowly climbing, but has crossed over the signal line. And when it crossed over that signal line, it gave it some excitement. It has tagged into the RSI, hasn't done that since February into the fire, but it's in the middle right now. But you can see she is sweltering up. She is moving back in that direction, but it was that jump on the penny stock exempt news I wanted you to see. So if you ever see it again, you know it is a catalyst. Now, speaking of catalysts, if you come over here to compliance statistics, I don't often come here, but it does have some good information depending on what you're looking for. Now, this is information here. You got stock promotions, shell status, reverse splits, company name changes, caveat emptor, and suspensions. And it lists all the companies that have recently had these changes. Here are your stock promotions for how many days, so you can say this isn't being pumped. They are actually paying to promote their company. There's nothing wrong with paid promotion. That's not always a pump and dump or hype. Sometimes you don't have any fresh news to come out, but you don't want to be forgotten, so you put out articles about what you've done, what you're doing, how you've been doing it. Then you've got shell status change, which is a great one. How many of the companies have we looked at that are shells? This tells you when they're coming out or going into that status. And you may not be able to find this information very easily in any other way. So this is like the back end of the OTC market information. So as soon as a company starts making money, the price may go up. That's a big deal to the company and the investors. And as I said, you've got your reverse splits. A lot of times in reverse splits, a company will take all your shares away to lift the price, and that makes a lot of investors angry, so the price falls, even though the whole purpose of the reverse split is to lift the price or to give the company more shares in their bank account because they're just out of shares. And this really makes people upset because they lose their potential. You don't lose any value for the stock initially, but once people see how many shares have been taken away from them, they get upset and they sell. And that brings the price way down. So a lot of times you can now get a good deal. Company name changes. If you're having a hard time finding the company, they may have changed their name. Caveat emptor, buyer beware. The absolute worst. They're still on the market for people who want to buy them, but it's not easy and it's not smart. And then you have suspensions and revocations, those that have been caveat emptor for a long time and just are not worth any more effort. And they're revoked. They are suspended. And for those of you that do have an interest in short interest, they have all that information right here for all the stocks on the OTC market. You're talking a list of short interest on 11,000 stocks. It shows you the most current information, and you can adjust it in the order that you like to look at it. You can't know too much, folks. At least know where to find the information for when you decide to walk into that room. You know where to go and get it easy. Okay, folks, to keep this under an hour, we're going to do one more. But I couldn't find it on the OTC market. I mean, I'm sure there's more there, but it was getting hard for me to actually find something. So I just went back to TOS, threw up my screener, pulled up the highest percentages, and started looking at them, and found this one. Now, I can't remember if we looked at this the other day, but it doesn't matter. Today's a new day, and it looks different. Today, I like it. So this is Mineral Right Corporation, RITE, expert market, no skull and crossbones, has a verified profile. That's important. You come down here, you can see that we haven't had any news in quite a long time, 2013, but we have had filings. Now, when you look at the filings, you can see they've got a bunch of them in there for 2019, 2020, and is there one there? Yeah, one for 2021. But this attorney letter is only for 12/31 as far as I know. Let's see if it tells us anything more on the inside. This letter of respect for the year ending December, right. So this does not cover 2021. So we are waiting for one more attorney letter, one piece of the puzzle to complete the picture. Now, why am I looking at it? Well, come on over to the chart and take a look with me. As I said, I had found this up here. I had a search of 0001 to $1 and brought up half of the stocks, found this one here with 2.47 million shares and did 400% gains today. So why are we looking at it? Because I think there's more. Oh, I think it's perfectly set up to give us more. This is the 6-month, 4-hour chart, every bar representing 4 hours of time. This is our price, folks, right there now. It is at 0005. Very, very low. You can see just the other day it was even lower. Now, I don't know. It says 0. It says 0. I got to figure that's probably closer to 0001. Let's see what it says. Man, it just says 0. I've never seen a stock hit 0. Oh my God. But the next lowest price is where it's at right now. And if you just come up to where it was just the other day, that is 001. So that's 100% gains just getting to that point, which is right here, folks. Right there. So you can see there's a lot more to be given if it goes past that. Let's look at 1 month. All right, so if it got up here to its recent high because it's been higher. It's been all the way back here. Right now, we're looking there. So you're looking at almost 2 cents, which would be about 350% gains on this if that's all it wanted to do. And looking back at that 4 hour to get a big peak, there's another high. We just keep getting higher and higher, don't we? You see this? Now, it is stair-stepping down, but I believe this low bubble caused a panic. I believe that low bubble was the big bounce literally off the floor, and it should be coming up. Now, does it look like it's going to come up right now? Well, it looks bad, don't it? MACD has fallen, but that's the way it was left. Everything was left distressed. So we are putting this on our watch list because there is lots of room for recovery, and it is at a tremendous price. Now keep this in mind, folks, so it doesn't so that you don't forget this. When you buy a stock at 0005, if you put in $200 and it falls to 0004, you have already lost $40. But I'm not really concerned that this is going to fail and go down. I think 0005 is an excellent price. I think the chart is set up perfectly for us to make a good gain on this. Could be anywhere from 100% up to 800%, depending how long you hold and how far she bounces. All right, I think that deserves to be put on the list, RITE, and we're going to call that a video. Well, that was a lot of DD. Maybe not for you, but it was for me. I started this yesterday. This is Saturday. I've taken a shower, cleaned up. I probably look a little shinier. Beard's a little glossier, but at least I'm wearing the same shirt. I didn't want to confuse you. So we've got a nice list, speaking of. Let me move out of the way here. That is a good list. It's a variety this time. We've got bouncers, we have got morning plays, we have got low floats, we've got watchers that are going current. That could be huge. There's not a big list there. Add it to any of the others that you've been accumulating and put it on your list Monday morning. Check these out. Make sure nothing's changed. Watch the pre-market. Get ready to get your orders in early if that's what you're playing on the morning plays. And remember, the number one thing most people forget, you have to put in a limit order to buy any OTC stock. You have to pick a price, and you're not going to be able to buy it like a casual purchase looking for a dip. You're racing it, so you got to get ahead of it and have it catch you rather than you catch it. Thank you. So I hope I taught you a few things today, showed you a few places that you may not have considered looking, and hopefully we found some stocks that are going to make you some money. Have a great weekend, folks. I'll be back here on Monday checking out that list and looking for a new one. Till then, remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See you, folks.